Or that was just dominating.
Swing every category. And he gets
a.
Did he check his box in 17 SEC games? Could the 0-2 swing 0-2? He got him.
If I get something good to hit.
And 2-2 pitch. Called strike. Faced Garrett Cole and Trevor Bauer on that UCLA team in the early 2010s.
It's just an easy 98.
The 1-2 pitch. Wave in a minute. He takes it.
Hello and welcome into Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined as always by the Bud Man, Buddy Songy. We're here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Come check it out. Great barbecue at old school prices. You see we have the sunglasses on, even though the weather is nasty outside in Baton Rouge as we tape here on Tuesday, May the 9th. Bud Man, LSU drops the back-to-back games in SEC for the first time all year, loses their first series of the season. It really started on Friday with Poche's phenomenal outing. You saw right there in the intro, 14 of his 15 career-high strikeouts. Saturday's game was a game of missed opportunities. A lot of base runners left on the paths for the Tigers. And then Sunday, get 10-run rule for the first time this season. And you dropped the series to Auburn. Bud, man, welcome in on a Tuesday. Great to see you, my man.
Good to see you, JP. Good to see everybody out there. This is tradition that we've done for many years on TV. And as JP so eloquently said, on this rainy, showery Tuesday afternoon, game is still on right now. We don't know if it's going to get played or what, but sunglasses on the Tuesday because, quite frankly, LSU did something they had not done all year long, lose back-to-back games in the SEC. And there's also another hidden meeting. And I would venture to say that I could do a better job wearing these sunglasses, calling balls and strikes with college baseball and the SEC. It has been just horrible, to say the least. That being said, when we were growing up, ducks on the pond, that is appropriate with this weather today. That just means the sacks are loaded. Look, Dylan Cruz is not going to go over with the sacks loaded again. And quite frankly, 7 straight strikeouts in a row by Mr. Ty Floyd. And after missing a balk call, he calls one on Ty Floyd. And the next thing you know, it's 2 minutes before he throws another pitch. They're throwing out people. To make a long story short, it was a sunglass type of weekend, and I got a little trivia for you. Are you superstitious with baseball?
A little stitious, not superstitious.
Todd Walker has reinforced this on the show with us quite often on the season. The number 1 national seed has not won the Natty since 1999. You know who was number 1 national seed last year?
Tennessee.
Yeah. And guess what they did? They grabbed their throat and choked.
Right.
Couldn't even beat the Leprechauns from Notre Dame. Yep. So I'm kind of happy that they actually – can you imagine 13 weeks or whatever in a row being number 1? So that being said, it is not time to panic. If you're out there and you can throw a strike, Jay Johnson wants to talk to you. If you want to be an umpire, please don't follow the SEC guide of umpiring. It's embarrassing. And, of course, we are seeing 2 players of the likes of which we're not going to see for a long time. Do they go 1-2? Never happened before. There's been a couple times where teams had players drafted 1 and 3. And you never know with the high school players. It could be 1 and 3. But Poche and Dylan Cruz, you've got 5 games to watch them tonight. The 3 games against Mississippi State, and then next Tuesday night on the last non-conference game of the year, and then, of course, in the regional, in the super regional. But, look, I think it was good. Gets them off the skid, gets them number 2 right now, and we'll see how they finish. But overall, 37-10, pretty darn good, JP.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bud, man. Might be good to lose a game in this part of the year. A lot of series LSU went through, you know, the offense carried them through, so people weren't really panicking about that bullpen as of yet. Of course, you know, Twitter's going crazy about the decisions about when to pull guys, who to keep in. Of course, the refs are taking a beating, the umpires, I should say. It's not hard to be consistently bad inning to inning, Bud, man. The problem is when they change the strike zone from batter to batter, from pitcher to pitcher, guys don't know where the zone is. It can be very frustrating, and you see the pitchers kind of getting frustrated up on the mound. And I'm not going to beat up on Christian Little. Obviously, Sunday was a bad outing for him. You know, 4 walks and a hit in the first inning. That kind of put LSU's bullpen, you know, in the game way too early. Fell behind, didn't give him a chance to win that ball game. But look, you lose that series on Saturday. Like you said, the Northwestern game tonight, we tape here on Tuesday, May the 9th. Don't know if it's going to be played yet or not. Looks like it will be, but the skies are opening up around Baton Rouge right now. So second to last midweek game, Bud, man, because Jay Johnson, though, I think he wants to get this game and to try to find maybe somebody else who can start a game on Sunday instead of having Christian Little have to keep on staying in that role.
Playing in the SEC is like going out with Beyonce for the weekend. Playing on these Tuesday night games when it's pouring raining is pales in comparison.
Yep.
I think they look tired.
Yep.
I think that, it's problematic when you see your best hitters taking fastballs right down the pipe. But that being said, look, everybody has had all of these problems. It's a long season. As we know, went into the season number 1. They continue to be number 1. Now number 2 at Wake Forest. JP, 4 of the 5 top SEC teams all had losing weekends.
Yep.
LSU's RPI on this date is still at 4. So you're not in trouble as far as not hosting a regional and a super regional. I don't think there's any way they couldn't be a top 8 seed.
Right.
But you can tell, because of the pitching and the lack of consistency, they're going to have to outscore people once you get to Omaha. And we talked to Ron Higgins, of course, and Michael Cobble. Ron being around for 40 years and Cobbs for 20-something plus. And most people will admit it. If they don't make it to Omaha and win it all, there's going to be some disappointment. But let's see how it plays out and see if these guys – Paul Skeens, does he rank as one of the best or the best guy you've ever seen on the hill for LSU?
Oh, he's the best guy I've ever seen on the hill for LSU. I wasn't around for the Ben McDonald age. I know he was incredible. I didn't get to see him play live a lot. I was obviously a little kid at the time. But me personally, I've seen Skeens on the field. And not only on the field, but off the field. You hear of a curious, smart, thoughtful, intelligent young man this is. All the stuff he does off the field with the charities and everything else, how he represents the folks back from the Air Force. What a great story, great representation.
Aaron Nola would be the third guy?
That would probably be number 3,
yeah.
Right.
And we were talking about that. Let's talk about position players. Where does Dylan Cruz rank?
You see, in the outfield, LSU has obviously had some great outfielders, but when you put the defense with the offense, what he's able to do, hit for power and average right there at that 3 spot where you know they're going to try to pitch around him a lot of games, I think Dylan Cruz is right up there. I think he's in the top 2, and I don't think he's number 2 positional players at LSU. I do really think he's a total package. I mean, you talk about maybe a Walker or a Bregman, Eddie Furness, incredible power from him. But yeah, the total package, it's hard to find somebody better than Dylan Cruz right now.
Now, I don't refer to Twitter, but JP does, and I can just tell you, talking to a lot of people through the years, you look at what an individual's done as a player. But let's be honest, and everybody knows coaches put more pressure on themselves and their team than anybody else. But, gosh, man, you talk about these guys and the year they're having. Just to reiterate, 431 is the single-season best average, Ray Frimes. 463 right now, Dylan Cruz. Thumbs up, does he break it? Thumbs down, does he not? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
He breaks it.
Yeah,
he breaks it.
Regardless of what it is. But I will say this, and it's hard to be Dylan Cruz 24/7, 365.
Yep.
Because as you alluded to, both Cruz and Skeens are such upfront, awesome people. They give back, they do it the right way, and you got to feel like they're going to peak at the right time. That's the whole thing, JP. Now, how crazy is this, Arnie? 2 years ago, Mississippi State won it. Last year, Ole Miss won it. You know what both those teams have in common this year? They're 6-18 in the conference.
There you go.
Fighting to get into the tournament.
Speaking of Mississippi State, that's who will come to Baton Rouge this weekend, take on the Fighting Tigers. Just got swept at home by Arkansas, a team that's kind of reeling, kind of dealing with some injuries and some fatigue as well. So it's a good time for LSU to bounce back and really get some confidence moving in towards that SEC tournament. But, man, we're going to talk some more LSU baseball. We also have a press conference from yesterday with head coach Jay Johnson. We'll also talk about some LSU women's hoops. Coach Kim Mulkey building their version of the dream team here in Baton Rouge with a couple of powerhouse transfers and everything coming back from the national championship team. We'll talk about some basketball. Of course, NBA playoffs is going on right now. The semis and the finals for the Eastern and the Western finals. It's been a great, very entertaining series between the LeBron James Lakers and the Kevin Durant Suns. Don't know if you've been watching it, Bud, man, but those two teams went back and forth for a great game yesterday. 2 nights ago. And we'll talk a whole lot more. The draft was just a couple
LSU
weeks
football,
ago.
got some tidbits there.
Got some LSU football. Talk some NFL draft, the guys that LSU let go in the draft, or got drafted from LSU, I should say, along with all those picks the New Orleans Saints made. So we have a whole lot here on Tigers Roar. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. Another quick break. We'll come back with Tigers Roar.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar. Don't forget, check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. While you're at the page, click the like button, click the subscribe button so you know every time we post something new right there on our YouTube page. Once again, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. We certainly appreciate it. We're here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, talking LSU baseball. It's JP and the Bud Man here on Tigers Roar. But man, LSU drops the series for the first time all season, moves to 16-7 in the SEC. We'll start with the Friday game. Trey Morgan at the Gavin Dugas gets hit with the first pitch of the game, drops an absolute bomb right to right field. You get Paul Skeens on the mound. You're always a favorite when you have your ace on the mound, especially when his name is Paul Skeens. He shoves, has 15 strikeouts. LSU wins 3-0. You're kind of feeling like, oh, what, the momentum just keep on riding after they swept Alabama last year. Quick shout out, meant to have a point of note. Got to give a shout out to the catcher from Alabama.
Yeah, right.
Wrote down his name. I hope I say it right. Mac Gassetti, I think is how you say his last name. I was in attendance at the game Sunday in Baton Rouge at the box, and the catcher from Alabama kind of got rolled up, got hit in the throat with a ball. It was really strange, but in the whole situation, he kind of looked for the ball, threw it back to the pitcher. The trainer came out to talk to him, and after a lengthy talk, kind of just rolled back and flagged back, passed out on the field. They worked on him on the field for about 10, 15 minutes, tried to get him up, and he almost went down again. It was a scary sight. It wasn't a typical injury. Came back this past weekend against Vanderbilt. Game-winning solo home run on Sunday in the 8th inning. So got tipped the hat, a way to bounce back from the catcher, Matt Gassetti.
Yeah, the crazy thing about this SEC, and let's not sleep on Auburn. They went to South Carolina and took 2 or 3 from the Gamecocks the weekend before. So they are playing good ball. But a lot of teams in the top 7 or 8. Oh, by the way, if you look at the polls, LSU 2 across the board this week. I like that. But once again, Arkansas, Vandy, Kentucky, Florida, South Carolina, all up there in the top 10. As we talk about the last 2 teams on the schedule, Georgia also had a big weekend, and they're not an easy out at their place. But Mississippi State and Ole Miss are both 6-18 right now, and they are struggling. Missouri's at 7-17, so they've got to catch some ground on Missouri. Otherwise, the last 2 defending champions in college baseball would not be in the SEC tournament. Now, we know LSU's had a tendency to play well in Hoover. I think the big thing that I want to see, JP, is just a couple things. Number one, I'm not seeing the patience at the plate that we saw throughout the year. They're swinging at a lot of bad pitches, and they're getting behind on the count. The flip side, the pitchers aren't getting ahead of a count. And you mentioned Christian Little. I'm watching the game, and it was a nightmare to see LSU give up 6 runs in the first inning and go through 3 pitchers. But I'm telling you, JP, Christian Little threw a ball on a 3-2 count. It was a strike. I don't care what frickin' strike zone you were using. It was a strike. It's called a ball. They've been squeezing in. I'm not just saying just on LSU pitchers, on all of them. And so, as always, you speed the game up. Everybody likes that. But this new strike zone, I talk about the luck. And, oh, by the way, this umpire on Saturday has had a history with Jay Johnson. So he misses an obvious balk with the left-hander from Auburn. Then he calls a balk on Ty Floyd that nobody even saw. And so Jay Johnson went up there to argue that. Suffice to say, you are going to have to be lucky. Here's the other thing, and you do a little more research on this, but what's going on with this gambling? Now, Iowa and Iowa State had implications for players. Are we going to see this thing bust up? Are we going to find out that everybody's gambling, or is this just Alabama, Iowa State? What do you think?
I think they're going to make it seem like this is a lone dog, kind of a lone wolf situation. But, yeah, I think there's more gambling than anybody wants to admit that's going on right now. And a lot of these programs are just getting money thrown at them through the NIL or boosters or whatever, what have you. It was a strange situation around the Alabama-LSU game, and they stopped the betting because there were suspicious bets, which – I mean, I don't think anybody really thought that LSU was going to lose the game against Alabama, but they flagged it because LSU is the flagship program in Louisiana. And come to find out, I think Alabama was kind of looking for a reason to fire their coach anyway and kind of ran with this as, look, we don't know what happened. We're not going to say anything definitely happened, but this was suspicious enough to let him go with cause. To answer your question, bud, man, I think the powers that be are going to make it seem like these are like the lone isolated incidents, but there's a lot of gambling going on. It's been going on for 30 plus years, and it's only going to get more and more easy. Look, you can bet on your cell phone from the dugout these days. I mean, gambling is so profound and easy to do on your phone. It's going to be impossible to stop it in baseball.
Well, bottom line is that they need to sweep Mississippi State, and then as you alluded to, 16-7. if you sweep state, you're 19-7. You go take 2 or 3, you're 21-8. Obviously, they lost a game because of the weather against Carolina. I don't think anybody would cringe with 21-8 and being a national seed. That all being said, you got to get somebody else and give him the ball on that third game. I think Ty Floyd is going to stay at number 2. That was some crazy circumstances. Ty Floyd admitted to Jay Johnson that when all that craziness happened with the umpire, it affected him. So not only do you have to be good, you've got to be mentally tough. And, you know, me being spicy, I probably would get thrown out because, as I said, I've seen so many strikes, not just LSU pitchers, the opponents. And so the question that I got posed today on the air, does it get better when you get out of the SEC? I don't know, but watching baseball this year, very disappointed with the strike zone. It's different for every umpire. Seems like it's different every weekend, and you have to adjust to it, but it's not been consistent in any way, shape, or form.
We'll take another quick break here on Tigers Roar. When we come back, we'll hear from the head baseball coach, Jay Johnson. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. You are watching Tigers Roar. Well,
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Hey, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun, too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to Roy Fletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
Caught spiders?
Premier Pest Services.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar. Jonathan Poche and the Budman, Buddy Songy, here at Old School Barbecue. If you haven't done so, come check it out. Great food at old school prices. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Talking some LSU baseball, 16-7 in the SEC as they drop a series to Auburn. Now facing down Northwestern State tonight as we tape here on May the 9th, a Tuesday. But, man, Mississippi State coming in town this weekend. You don't want to look past Northwestern State, but it is what it is. Mississippi State just got swept at home by Arkansas. So a team that's kind of reeling right now, and it's a good time for LSU to kind of get some confidence back, rest some guys, and get ready for the weekend. Another SEC appointed Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Jay Johnson calling me a DA. He says, you didn't want to play tonight? No, I think they needed a night off, but the rain does seem to have subsided. And as we know, the LSU grounds crew will try and get that field ready to go.
Yep.
So we're a couple of hours away. It looks like they are going to probably end up playing. Look, you need to find out from some pitchers who you can depend on. Once again, we'll see if the guys can flip the switch. You know, you're going to school. This is finals week also. You got to take care of your academics. Yep. And, oh, by the way, if you've missed out, a lot of LSU Pub, Angel Reese and Livy Dunn are both Sports Illustrated swimsuit calendar girls. Of course, the Lady Tigers and Kim Mulkey going to the White House 2 weeks from this Friday. And Brian Kelly, in case you missed this, the number came out today. Over and under for LSU. Georgia's at 11.5. Alabama at 10.5. LSU at 9.5. I don't know a person that's not thinking Brian Kelly and the Tigers are going to go 10-2. So if I go to Vegas, not that I have enough money to go right now, I'll put a 50-cent piece on. You go over 9.5.
I'll go over
in football.
Yep, I'll go over.
And let's flip the coin. Win it all or not this year, Jay Johnson and LSU?
Jay Johnson, LSU baseball, win it all. I think I think that they need to win. But, man, if you ask me if they're going to win, I really don't know. A lot of things can happen, especially in baseball. You have one bad outing, you can get beat by any team out there. Best lineup in baseball, best player in baseball, best pitcher in baseball. You got to kind of put it all together. You're going to lose a lot from this team. I mean, you're going to lose Skeens, you're going to lose Cruz. You don't know who's going to transfer out because they haven't had the playing time or they got injured or whatever the situation is. There's going to be some attrition on this team. It's not going to look the same next year. This is the time to strike while the iron's hot.
Got to peak at the right time. I will say this. If they do win it all, it will be because of the hitting, not the pitching.
Yeah, well, we'll let you guys hear from the head coach. Here is LSU baseball head coach Jay Johnson here on Tigers Roar.
Yeah, I mean, Friday, obviously a really well-played college baseball game. Both sides, Paul was Paul. Great performance by Trey. Great road win. Saturday, facing a really good pitcher who'd made it tough on teams the last 3 weeks. Got off to a pretty good start. Was pretty proud of the at-bats. I mean, 4 innings, 90 pitches. We had a situation in the third where bases loaded, nobody out, 1-0, and the best, 2 hitters in the country that come through for us every time. And, we're only able to get 1 there. And then the next inning, I believe we're right back in that spot with 2 outs, and Dylan hit a ball hard. And if that ball sneaks through the left side, now you're looking at they're chasing 4 or 5 runs. Makes it a different game. But Ty, I thought, was outstanding to start the game. Can't pitch any better than he did. And then, the 4th inning, just kind of lost command of the zone. I thought Gavin did a nice job right there to come in a tough spot. Walked the first guy to walk a run in, but then got a strikeout, against a really good hitter to, give us a chance. And then we come right back and score, and it's 4-3. And then we're just kind of in that weird time in the game where you got 12 outs to get, and you're going to need more than 1 or 2 guys to do that. And Javen gave us a clean 5th after we scored, and then ran into a little trouble with the zone. And then Bryce came in and gave up a hit and a walk, and then found a way to keep it at 2 runs. And in the 9th, I mean, you're 1 pitch away from Dylan coming up as the go-ahead run. So, it was a good, tough game against a good team. And then yesterday they beat us, and we didn't play really well. Walked a bunch of guys in the first inning, put us in a tough spot. And they have a good offense, as they showed. And, we just never really quite got going yesterday.
They're going to struggle to find those zones.
man? Is that external factors, mental?
I mean, it could be a number of things, and we looked at those things, and we'll address them the best we can, and put those guys in a better position to be successful this week.
Can you use that as a positive? What happened this weekend, losing that, and then the rankings today? Is that all?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know. I actually, in the best way possible, I think we've only used that to our advantage the entire year. And what I mean by that is the players understand that relative to what happens on the field and results, it's completely irrelevant, and it has been from day one. So it'll remain that way. I mean, as competitors, obviously love being on top, and my hats off to them for how they've handled that, and I don't see that as anything.
Down moment or anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what to tell them, to try harder. No, that's not the issue with this team. Relative to that, I mean, what we'll do is we'll make some adjustments that we need to, whether it be mental or physical, kind of as Michael was saying, and then get back on it. And that's all that they've done, and excited about that. Woke up incredibly energized this morning to get into this week.
Do you feel like you're kind of back in scramble mode with the pitching?
No. I mean, I think it's always evaluation mode for what do we need to do to win, and excited about tomorrow and getting guys out there and executing and improving and doing something to try to help us win a game tomorrow. And then you're in a great place where you're starting off with on the weekend with Paul, and this isn't a pitching staff that hasn't had guys we haven't not pitched well the entire season. We have some injuries, and we have some guys that have pitched well that didn't pitch well on Saturday and Sunday. And that's how I see it. So you go back to where you get to execution with each of them, and that's what we'll do. And there'll be some shifting in personnel and those types of things to help them all be in a position that they can be successful and ultimately get 27 outs with as few runs crossing the plate as possible. Like I said, Friday, can't do it any better than that. It's a beautiful start, and it's, two relievers, 18 pitches, between Ackenhausen and Hurd. You can't draw it up any better than that. And then, like I said, I mean, Ty was as good as you could ask for the beginning of that game, and that really excites me about him. And then we were just kind of and as a coach, from the outside, you don't understand this. You're just in this really difficult spot where we still have 12 outs to get. And Javen, we got to kind of get him going. So it was the right spot and right time to bring in. He was amazing in the fifth. And they just kind of lost it a little bit in the sixth after a long inning. And then we just had trouble getting outs after that. But stayed in the game, scored a couple more runs to give ourselves a chance to win. So on face value, Saturday, as you lost a tough game on the road against an SEC team where we gave them more free bases than they gave us. That's Saturday. And then yesterday, just put ourselves in a really bad spot early and did not dig out of it. So I'm excited about. I still think there's enough guys to execute the way we want to win weekends, to win games, and we just got to get them a little bit better and get them in the right spot to be successful, and we're going to work hard at that this week.
How did the players kind of respond to this weekend, and what are you hearing from them?
Yeah, I mean, we talked very briefly after the game yesterday of, just improvement, and again, unless you're living this with them every day, this is something else. This sport, this league, this time, right now, and I specifically, I mean, baseball is difficult. Then you're looking at our league is really, really good. I mean, really, really good. That's the 11th place team. That team is in first place or second place in any other league in the country right now. No question about that. So how they've handled the degree of difficulty in that, including winning a game on Friday on the road against that caliber team, high marks. So where do you go? You go with where do we need to improve and be better, and completely leave it at that. And like I said, I will stand up for them as far as their motivation to be the best as much as any team that you possibly could. And so I'm looking forward to to them responding with their character this week.
How much do you think Ty's rhythm got upset by all the discussion with umpires from you and the ballroom coach?
You know, I think it had an effect, but what I love about Ty is he and I had a conversation yesterday morning about it, and he's like, it definitely affected me, and I can't let it affect me. And it's just like, that's all I need to know. Like, he's going to come out and he's going to pitch great this week. And that was very impressive up until that point. And I mean, literally to the point where, you know, there was a thought, as bad as it was getting off the rails, and he walked like 3 or 4 guys, of leaving him in the game because of the execution to that point. And so I think he's really grown. Again, the starting pitcher's job is to give his team a chance to win. Would you like to have him in the 5th inning there, or the 6th inning? Absolutely. But at that point, he leaves the game. We're losing 3-2. So he technically did his job. And would we like more? Yes. Would he like more? Yes. Has he done more? Yes. And I think he will. And I take a lot of positives from what I saw from him right there. And I think he'll be in a good spot. And I love them. That's our team. Is like, hey, yeah, this might have had an impact, but I have to be above that to execute. So that's why he'll continue to do good for us and be a great pro pitcher from somebody.
And that was head coach Jay Johnson here on Tigers Roar. After this break, we'll come back and let you guys hear from part 2 of that press conference. His last comments were about Ty Floyd and the coach getting ejected and how that might have impacted him. And Ty Floyd told him, look, it did impact me, but it shouldn't have. And you heard Coach Jay Johnson's comments. Another quick break. We'll come back with more here on Tigers Roar. Don't go anywhere. He's the Bud Man. I'm JP, and we're here at Old School Barbecue. You're watching Tigers Roar.
Taste the feeling.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, gang. Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
You could be driving. Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Don't forget, check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. A great way to keep up with everything we do here on Tigers Roar. If you missed any of this episode or any episodes in the past, check us out on YouTube. And while you're at our page, click the like button, hit the subscribe button. It'll help us out with the algorithm. We certainly appreciate it. Talking some LSU baseball. The last segment we heard from head coach Jay Johnson. We'll let you guys hear some more of that press conference right here. Here is head coach of the LSU baseball team, Jay Johnson, here on Tigers Roar.
Credit Auburn for sure. You know, when you get guys on base, which we do as one of the highest on base percentage teams in the country, you're going to leave more on. If you get a hit or two more on Saturday, it's a different game. And again, like we were on base in the right spots in our order. And again, you take somebody like Dylan for granted because he comes through 90% of the time. I mean, it wasn't until last week, I think, and it wasn't this weekend, he left the guy on third with less than 2 outs. He was literally 1,000% at getting the guy in. I mean, that's amazing, you know, this deep into the season. And, yeah, we could be better and need to be better and have been better and will be better. We'll just go back to work on being tighter in our plan and not letting the situation get bigger than that plan as they've done time and time again. And, again, it's week 8, I think, if I'm counting right, in the league. You know, I'll take our team with runners on base and runners in scoring position over anybody.
What was the reason for the ejection in game 2?
I don't really know, honestly. Like, Josh Jordan is like the best guy and the best character guy in the world, to the point where I don't even know if they knew who they were ejecting, and then it became a thing. Like, I mean, I read the report, but I still don't know why he got ejected. Like, you know, I don't know.
Would y'all have SEC calls like football does on Monday mornings? Do y'all?
No, we don't. And you know what? I think the umpire in the league is great. I do. So, on the record with every camera here, the umpiring in the SEC is fantastic. We were upset. I mean, they missed a blatant balk call the inning before, so I was upset about that. And then, as far as Ty's move, he's a great athlete with quick feet and has a really good pickoff move, and didn't see what they saw. And I brought the previous call to that one. It's like, how did you not see that and pick up a balk right there? Like, that's what I was upset about. And I let John, the home plate umpire, know that, and our dugout wasn't too happy about it. But there was 25 guys behind me that weren't happy about it, and they said the guy in the gray shirt is ejected. Well, we were wearing gray uniforms. Okay, so that doesn't narrow it down, but Jamie Tutko was wearing a gray shirt and not a uniform. So I went back, it's like, hey, Jamie, you're ejected. He's like, what?
So you got the hit.
No, but I mean, he said the guy in the gray shirt. So, so the guy in the gray shirt left, and then a couple hitters, whatever it was later, they said Josh Jordan, and I don't think I've heard Josh Jordan use a curse word since I've known him. So I don't know. I still don't know is the answer.
Do you like coaching third base, or is
No, I don't. No, I did. I used to like it a lot, and then now pretty much 3 seasons of not doing it. At least for our team this year, right now, I can most positively help our players being in the dugout. And so, he'll be back, and our assistant coaches are important, and how we operate is important. You know, from what I do, from what Wes does, from what Josh, what Mark do. And we need to keep that intact, and we will. Those guys won't be getting ejected from games, I can promise you that.
I think at the beginning of the season you said that getting Thatcher Hurd into the rotation will be the key to winning long term. Is that still a belief of yours, or do you like his reliever role?
I like him pitching the way he's been pitching the last few times, and you know, that was an excellent performance on Friday night, and so I don't have the answer to that yet without, you know, looking at Mississippi State yet, or, you know, we have a game tomorrow, so we'll evaluate that. But he'll be on the mound. You know, he'll be one of the key guys, and I think with the way he's pitching, that's going to be good for us.
Paul,
not this week, but the past week, was talking about how he sort of prepares and went into detail with all the video stuff that he looks at. Could you sort of comment on that and sort of what makes sort of him unique when it just comes to his preparation?
Yeah, he's the best that I've seen at it. Kind of that. I'm trying to think of maybe like a good example that everybody here would know about. But as a coach, when a player is really good at that, it really, really stands out. And his really stands out from the physical part of it to how he does what he does. Like Sunday is a heavy lifting day for him. So to see the work that he was putting in yesterday, after the start on Friday to, the bullpen day, which is tomorrow, on a Tuesday, amazing. The video, the scouting prep, really take a lot of pride in that, with our whole staff. And as a player, he does that. I'll walk in the players' lounge and he's in there, with, the video up, and I mean, he's taking notes. It's as good as I've ever seen. And that's just another, you compare that kind of stuff and physical ability and natural talent with the self-awareness and preparation. Yeah, Paul Skeens.
It's pretty clear that he's a pretty curious guy. Did you know that coming in when you were?
I just knew the competitive DNA, character, makeup, whatever you want to call it, it's not out there with 18 to 21-year-old male college baseball players very often. His talent is exceptional, but the work ethic to get to the next layer of improvement, the way he has in his short time here, is ridiculous. And then you add the ability to prepare, like you've been doing this your whole life, and with the care level that he does it's special. Like it's not out there.
I don't know if you can comment on this as a coach, but just do you see him and Cruz interacting a lot with one another?
Yeah, they're the best. Yeah, it's again, and I'll talk about it every time that we meet and get together. It's just they're extraordinary players, extraordinary talent, extraordinary makeup, extraordinary character. They have everything in the world to look forward to, and they are completely immersed in our team in the present. I mean, this university will have a lot to thank them for, just in terms of not just the players they are, but how they represent themselves. And, that should be talked about a lot. And I know it is, and they deserve every bit of it.
It's helped you as a recruiter just to have those two guys, the potential number 1 and number 2 picks.
Absolutely.
Able to be drafted.
Yeah.
How has that sort of helped you?
Well, there's every player that we're going to recruit has a dream of being a major league player or a high draft pick. And, I don't know that in 2 years' time you can have a better example of having the first college position player picked 2 years in a row and then having the first college pitcher picked. It's great players are coming here and great players are getting developed here. And for me, that's the message of, that coming to fruition the way that it has. And, I hope players are seeing it, whether it's recruits, transfer portal guys, high school, it doesn't matter. And it's really exciting. And, whoever's up there in the draft, they're going to be very happy, with both those guys.
And that was head coach of the LSU Baseball Tigers, Coach Jay Johnson, talking about Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz and how special they've been and how great human beings they are, and look forward to see what they can accomplish at the next level. Great ambassadors of the LSU program.
Going to go down as two of the greatest players ever. Skeens, of course, only 1 year. Cruz, 3 years. And that they will bring home plenty of hardware with the honors. Skeens, once again, pitcher of the week in the SEC National Pitcher of the Week. 15 Ks. This guy is so good, JP, that the bad umpiring can't even not call strikes.
All right.
Oh, by the way, this weekend, Friday at 7:30 on the SEC Network, Saturday at 6 on the streaming, and Sunday at 1. And I would like to see LSU go long ball this weekend. No, we're going to have some showers in. It hit and miss. They will play baseball tonight. against Northwestern. That's 6:30 on, once again, SEC Network Plus.
Last break of the evening. We'll come back, put a pretty bow on this episode of Tigers Roar. Don't go anywhere. You're watching it here on Pelican Sports TV.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Okay, and put a pretty little bow on this episode of Tigers Roar. It's Jonathan Poche and the Budman Buddy Songy. Don't forget, we're here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Come check it out. Great barbecue at old school prices. If you missed any of this episode of Tigers Roar, go to our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Had a great conversation about LSU Baseball, a lot from Coach Jay Johnson. Go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Just a few minutes left, Bud, man, so let's talk about the champ and Coach Kim Mulkey. Wins the national title in year 2, okay, signs the #1 recruiting class coming into next season, also loaded up with some powerhouse transfers, Bud, man. Are you kind of seeing a repeat happening here for Coach Kim Mulkey and the Lady Tigers?
We've been asking the question, who would win the first national championship between Kim Mulkey, Brian Kelly, and Jay Johnson? If you ask that question again.
Yeah, right now.
Right now. Do you give – now, look, Coach Mulkey is smart enough to know that it's not easy. You got to get breaks. South Carolina ladies were about as big a favorite as we could ever see, and they did not get there.
Yep.
That all being said, Haley Van Lith is a left-handed point guard from Louisville, and she is the real deal. Pigtails, the whole 9 yards, can do it all. Backdrop, backstep, three ball, dish, the whole 9 yards. Anissa Morrow just comes over. She got signed on Friday, 6'1", 25.5 points a game, 12.5 rebounds a game. And then don't forget Michaela Williams, who I consider the best player in the country. She just had the All-Star game. And, folks, she is a 6-foot guard that can flat out do everything. Post up, shoot the three, dish it out. You say, well, what about all this talent? Kim Mulkey does a fantastic job of two things that we talk about in every relationship: trust and communication. You got to talk. You got to get along. Remember, when Poche came in, she was yapping. Angel Reese and all the league said, hey, put an apple in it.
Yeah.
Follow the lead of the experience. Of course, you've got to replace, Lex Luthor, and they're going to do that. But most people feel like that will be a Fab Five lineup. They're going to the White House 2 weeks from this Friday. And you remember what the popular song was the last time LSU went to the White House?
I remember. Get the gat.
Get the gat. Everybody dancing at Washington. Oh, by the way, we mentioned that today, Joe Burrow. I could live 2 more lives and not ever see a guy with 60 touchdowns. Do you realize he had a touchdown pass for every quarter he played at LSU? Of course, that throws out that crazy Texas A&M game with that overtime where they got shafted. But LSU football, once again, we're going to talk more and more about it in the summer. I'm hoping that they bring in Logan Diggs, the big running back from Notre Dame. But back to Kim Mulkey, they continue to do great things, and it will be interesting to see just how good they will be following up the championship team of last year.
All right, but man, over the weekend, don't know if you're aware, but on Twitter there was a whole kerfuffle this weekend. You know, ULL dropped this video about this crawfish boil they were having on campus, and at the end of the video, they showed some guys dusting their crawfish. But, man, for those out there who don't know, you boil the crawfish in season, you take them out, you pour them into the bucket, you hit them with a little more, whatever you're using, Zatarans, whatever it is. It's called dusting the crawfish. LSU fans lost their minds and said, how is this university going to say they represent Louisiana? No one dusts their crawfish out here. I mean, it was a whole thing, but, man, so I ask you, dust your crawfish or no dust?
Ridiculous question, and once again, I guess those in Lafayette are to find it any way that they can get attention. My brother does a great job. My nephew does a great job. I've never heard of dusting the crawfish.
So you go to Florida, maybe Orange Beach, or anywhere in Texas, they all dust their crawfish. They get it's all over your fingers. You can't get it off your face. Not in South Louisiana. I've never been to a crawfish bowl with any locals that dusted their crawfish. I'm not going to say it's like so ridiculous. Never do it. It's it's sacrilegious to dust your crawfish, but I'm also not a duster.
I'm not a duster. I will say this. I have eaten potato salad on top of gumbo.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we hope that you get dusted, and LSU better dust Mississippi State with 3 wins.
That's right. For the Bud Man, I'm Jonathan Poche. I want to thank our floor director, Marty, and AT doing a great job driving the bus in his truck. I want to thank you guys for tuning in this episode of Tigers Roar. We'll catch you next time right here on Pelican Sports TV.